What is going on, y'all? My name is Gravely, and in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can improve your aim with hand cannons, as well as how you can be more effective with them overall. So to begin with, there are currently 3 main hand cannon archetypes in the game, which are going to be the 120s, the 140s, and the 180s. 2 of these hand cannon archetypes, which are the 120s and the 140s, are completely viable in the current meta. However, you do want to typically stay away from 180 hand cannons because they don't have the greatest time to kill and they have limited peak shot ability. Now, even though I just said both 120 and 140 hand cannons are viable in the current meta, you will have much more success using a 120 hand cannon. Now, even though they have a slightly slower time to kill of around 1 second, a lot of them can roll with perks like Rampage or Kill Clip or even Multi-Kill Clip to elevate that time to kill to around 0.5 seconds. They also have some really ridiculous range, and it is very rare to find yourself in a gunfight where you are hitting damage drop-off. When it comes down to 140 hand cannons, they do have one pretty significant advantage over 120s, and that is the fact that they do have a faster time to kill of around 0.87 seconds. Now, the only issue with that 0.87 TTK is the fact that you need to land all 3 crits in order to get that time to kill, which really is not the easiest thing to do, especially compared to a 120, where a lot of the time, all you need to do to get the maximum time to kill is hit 1 headshot and 2 body shots on any Guardian that is not rocking 5 resilience, and that really is extremely easy to do, whereas with a 140 hand cannon, obviously you need to land every crit, so you need to be really precise for a 140 hand cannon to be effective in this meta. Anyways, now that we have talked about each hand cannon archetype, I am going to highly recommend that anybody trying to get better with a hand cannon uses a 120 RPM hand cannon. And that isn't only due to them being extremely strong in the current meta, but I do believe that they are the easiest hand cannons to use because, as I mentioned before, a lot of the times you only need 1 crit and 2 body shots to actually kill somebody, so they are a great starting point for new players. Now, moving on, let's talk about how you can actually improve your aim with a hand cannon. So the very first thing that I always tell people is play on a sensitivity that you are comfortable with. You don't need to be playing on the max sensitivity just cuz. You don't need to be playing on your favorite streamer sensitivity just cuz. You don't need any of that. Play on a sensitivity where you feel like you can hit shots consistently. That is going to help you out a lot. Personally, I play on controller and I play on 10 sensitivity, mainly because that is what works for me, but like I said, what works for me isn't always going to work for you, so just find your sensitivity and stick to it, and obviously if you ever need to change it in the future, you can do that. The second thing that I always tell people is that if you want to get better with a primary, you have to use a primary. In this case, obviously we're talking about hand cannons, so if you want to get better with a hand cannon, you need to use a hand cannon. Aping people with Fellwinters will not give you better hand cannon aim. You are only going to get that better aim through practice. And honestly, there are a lot of great ways to practice your aim with a hand cannon. Obviously, things like quick play control and quick play clash are always there, but a thing that a lot of people seem to overlook is the fact that we actually have private matches in this game. Now, it really never hurts to set up a private match with a couple of friends and be like, hey, no Fellwinters this game, no specials, we're just going to be using hand cannons and practicing our aim. That way everybody is on an equal playing field and you guys can all get better with your hand cannons. If you're competing against hand cannons, which is going to happen a lot in the Crucible, you will get better with your hand cannon and you will get better at combating them. Now, by no means am I saying that after watching this video and playing a few private matches with your friends that you are going to be an absolute beast with a hand cannon. That's just an unrealistic expectation, but if you keep practicing over time, trust me, you will get much better. Moving on from how you can improve your aim with a hand cannon, let's talk about how you can be more effective with a hand cannon overall. So there is one thing that hand cannons are far better at than any other type of weapon in this game, and that is the sheer peak shot ability that you get with a hand cannon. Now basically what that means is your ability to pop in and out of cover while dealing damage. And since hand cannons only fire 1 high impact shot at a time, they are a premier weapon for peak shotting. And the main reason that I am bringing this up is that when you are using a hand cannon, you want to be near cover as much as possible, since like I said before, you can use that cover pretty effectively, and if you are using a 120 hand cannon, you can keep popping in and out of that cover until you get a kill, and let's say that hand cannon has rampage, now you can go around 2-tapping people, so you basically just effectively use that cover to get your rampage up, and now you can start playing a lot more aggressively. Obviously, you don't have to play that way, but it is one of the most effective ways to use a hand cannon. Another thing that really helps me out when I am using a hand cannon is flick shotting. Now basically what flick shotting is when you actually flick onto your target instead of just dragging your aim to them. I think flick shotting really does help me have better hand cannon aim, and it makes my hand cannon more consistent. The only reason it was not included in the how to improve your aim section of this video is flick shotting truthfully is not for everyone. If you like it, go ahead and use it. If you don't, go ahead and just don't use it. The final tip I have for getting better with a hand cannon is knowing which engagements to pick and which engagements to avoid. Always be on the lookout for situations where you have the advantage due to you having a hand cannon. Obviously, things aren't always going to be ideal, but if you can put yourself in those good situations most of the time, you are going to be in great shape. And just to clarify, the situations that I'm referring to are the situations where you are able to take advantage of the peak shot ability of a hand cannon, or the fact that you have a lot of range when it comes to things like 120 hand cannons, and you are able to outrange a lot of other primaries. That is pretty much all I have in terms of how you can actually improve with a hand cannon. Once again, none of these things are going to happen overnight, but if you put in the effort and the practice, trust me, you will get much better with a hand cannon. But as always, I really appreciate you guys watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, I would greatly appreciate it if you left a like and a comment letting me know what you thought. And if you would like to see more content from my channel in the future, make sure you subscribe. Anyways, it's been Gravely. Peace.